Alright, I can't guarantee this is going to be particularly audible because I'm out on a walk right now, if you can't tell. So you're going to have to bear with me on the audio here. The visual is not going to be very interesting either, but I just figured I had some time to talk about shit. If I'm going to be doing is just walking laps around my neighborhood. Where do I begin? Things have been getting a little wild in my life lately. And by lately, I mean just the past couple of weeks. Hold up a second. Trying to actively focus more when I'm like crossing a road or something. Anyways, fuck. So, to go into the topic of like the situation with my weight and everything, earlier today I weighed in at 196. I don't know if I've said anything yet, but I think the last like actual weight loss vlog thing I did, I mentioned that I was going to try bulking maybe, and I'm not really having much luck putting a lot of weight on, and I never thought I would say that, but it's harder than I thought it would be. It's expensive, that's the problem, mostly. That, and I just get to feeling sick if I eat too much, and my drinking has been more than ideal as well. Just random things like that, presenting unexpected challenges, and I'm not really sure how to work around it, so shit. I don't even know. I should have had like notes prepared for this or something. Well, the thing that's on my mind the most at the moment is work. So things at work have not been going well. I think, if I remember correctly, the last video I posted on the channel at all kind of went into that, where I'm having a hard time getting along with I guess her title is foreman, my new foreman, after the last guy bumped to a different shift. The new one, her and I definitely don't get along very well. She's just way less like lax and human than the guy we had before. She really wants to throw her weight around, and I have a problem with that big time. I think a lot of that comes from like, so I mean, if you've been around a while, you know my whole sob story about getting kicked out after high school because, you know, I'm a cross-dresser, I guess, to put it in the plainest terms, and they were not very pleased with that. And so after high school, they were kind of like, get the fuck out. I didn't have a car or a license or a job or money or nothing. I ended up couch surfing for a while, and some people took me in and they did some things to me that I really don't want to talk about right now. And it really scrambled my brains, and I have PTSD now. And that was years ago. But the fact of the matter is, I would be lying if I said that I was healing to any like super significant degree. There are definitely things that are better than they were before, but there's some things that feel like they're getting worse. And my anger around authority figures definitely seems to be getting worse, which it was already pretty bad. But you know, the fact that that whole thing started off with my parents, which I didn't have a great relationship with to begin with, and then those people in that house, like, they had a sort of position of authority over me, and they abused that to take advantage of me. And so I don't mesh well with authority now. I don't know if I ever really did, but it's bad at this point in my life. And that's really coming up at work. See, the problem is, I don't know how much I want to say, because certain things I could say would definitely give it away. There's been a lot happening at work, totally at like the global level, I suppose. Not like actually global, but I mean above the level of just me and my foreman. Stuff that affects everybody there. And in the context of that, on top of all that shit, there's unrelated stuff happening between me and my foreman, and it's really stressing me out. And one of the things that really set me off was that she came up to me randomly while I was working and told me, not asked, told, that I was getting moved to second shift, and I had to report to some other job that I've never done the following week. And I'm on thirds, or at least I have been. And third shift gets a third shift differential. It's like 10 or something % extra pay just to be on third shift, because, you know, graveyard shifts kind of suck. But the problem is second shift doesn't get that, and the hours are, in my opinion, just as inconvenient. So I'm doing the same work for hours that suck just as much in a hotter part of the day. It gets hot as shit in that factory, and I'm getting paid less for it, is the idea. And I didn't take very kindly to that. I was like, no, that's not happening. And we went back and forth over that. And I talked to my team lead, and he was like, I'm going to go to the union and put in a committee call for you, but I can't promise anything. I was like, whatever you can do, I appreciate it. So he got on his radio and put in a committee call and all that shit. And the next fucking day, my foreman comes up to me, and she's got a new hire for me to train. And I really lost it, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you see, for me, like, I'd always been told, like, never train your replacement. Because that's just a big fuck you from your employer when they make you do that. And so I was like, nah, I'm not gonna train this girl. I'm not a good trainer anyways, and I just hate training. I've seen people say before to a team lead, like, nah, I'm not training today. And, like, they'll shake their head or whatever. It might be an inconvenience, sure, but they just walk away and find another job for the new hire. That's how I'd seen it go down before. So I was like, nah, I'm not training. And that went poorly. She's like, you don't have the option. You are training, and you are going to go to second shift. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And because I said that, because I used a swear word, I got written up for creating a hostile work environment. Which my team lead thinks that it's bullshit. I don't really care about the validity of whether I did in fact create a hostile work environment or not. I'm still just hung up on essentially taking a random pay cut for what I later found out was just seniority politics within the union. It wasn't even corporate's decision. Like, this is union shit. Which just disappoints me more. Because, like, you know, I wanted this job because it is a union job, and it's one of the bigger ones. And I figured that would offer me protection and rights and shit. But the fact of the matter is I'm a temp. So I am at the bottom of the ladder. And it's a hobby for everyone to, for the sake of their own entertainment, shit on the guy who's on the bottom of the ladder. And that's me, because I'm a temp. And I think it's bullshit. Especially because this place, you can be a temp for 2 or 3 or 4 fucking years before you get hired in. So you're going to be waiting years before you get enough seniority that this shit is less likely, not even guaranteed not to, but less likely to happen to you. It's like, I didn't even fucking live in this city until last November. So what, am I supposed to time travel back and start working here sooner? Is that my fucking crime that I didn't time travel? Like, it's just shitty to me. Like, the first 6 months I was here, I slept on a yoga mat on the floor, on the hardwood floor in my friend's house, because I can't afford a place of my own. And it was better than sleeping in my fucking mid-2000s Honda CR-V that has no air conditioning. Hasn't had air conditioning for like 2 fucking years now. I've replaced most of the meat in my diet with fucking Walmart brand protein powder. When I do get meat, I get it at Aldi because I can't afford to get it anywhere else. Like, something's fucking gotta give here, man. Like, I feel like I'm just everybody's punching bag. Like, I just get shit on all the time from everybody, and I have no recourse for it. Like, there's never anyone I can go to. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can do. I'm just expected to sit there and take it. And I'm not very fucking interested in doing that anymore. Like, this is really starting to bother me. I'm taking a different route purely because I just saw someone park up the street, and I'm so socially anxious that I don't want to walk by somebody who's in their car. So there's a glimpse into my mental illness there. But I mean, on the topic of mental illness, like, the shit with work bothers me so bad because, like, this might date me here, but if you've ever seen like the fucking like Facebook chat screenshot of like two teenage girls arguing because one of them stole a chicken nugget from the other, and the girl who got her nugget stolen is like, it's not about the nugget, it's about the lies. Like, I feel like people want to reduce my anger over the situation to being purely about this specific instance alone, when it's not. Because the fact of the matter is, like, it's really just kind of about my entire life, to be honest. Like, shit like this. I should preface the following by saying that I have no plans whatsoever to hurt myself or anyone else. Not at all. But I mean, just being that I have mental illness, and I always have, and things are not going great in my life, and they never have, I just sometimes I think about hurting myself. And like I said, I have no plans to, I don't intend to, I don't want to. That's not what I have in mind for my future, but I can't not have those thoughts sometimes. Because shit is rough for me right now. And it has been for a long time. I don't know what to do about it. It feels like there's no way out, and that this is just the way things are going to be forever. And if that's really the case, then it's hard for me to feel like I have any interest in continuing, you know? Like, if this is the best I'm ever going to get, no matter how hard I fight, then I don't want to fight at all. And I want this to be over. Like, that's where I'm at, to be honest. And like I said, it's not just because I'm getting bumped to second shift and I'm losing that third shift differential. That's just the last straw out of thousands of straws. Like, this has just been piling up on me for years. My girlfriend broke up with me like a couple weeks ago. We dated for 3 years, and I had a set of ring size engages because I wanted to marry this girl. And right up until a couple months ago, I thought she felt the same way. And I thought that was the plan. I thought that was what we were working towards. And then, I don't know, we kept talking less and less. Both of us were getting more depressed for separate reasons. And all kinds of money trouble between us because I'm in such a shitty place. She's in an even shittier place. And the way that I've been struggling so bad means that I'm not really in a position to help her. Which makes me feel horrible. And so it just, I don't know. Both of us struggling so bad and nothing getting better and feeling like we're spinning our wheels and talking less and less. And so we broke up, which was not my call. It was not what I wanted, but at the same time, I get why. And there's almost kind of relief because, like, I'm not on the hook to worry about financially supporting her anymore, which makes things a little easier on me. But at the same time, like, our plant just shut down for a little while because of parts shortage. And of course, I didn't get any pay for that. We were supposed to be able to apply for unemployment. I applied, but they told me I didn't qualify for shit. So I didn't get anything. Just 2 straight weeks unpaid. And then now I'm on fucking disciplinary leave for saying, are you fucking kidding me? And they told me that they were going to try to get it 1 day of disciplinary leave or 2, but it could be up to 5. This is night 3 and I haven't gotten a phone call yet, so I'm assuming it's going to be 5. I should probably call them and find out more, but to be honest, I don't have any words to say to anybody at that place right now. Sorry, it's about to be especially hard to hear me because I'm coming up on the fucking road here, but, well, one of the main roads. I've been next to a road the whole fucking time, but anyways, so yeah, I have these days off unpaid as well, and I told you there's some shit going on that affects the whole plant. We're looking at, in a week or two, maybe even less, another shutdown, and I have no idea how long that's going to run. And I mean, that's going to be unpaid too. The union isn't going to pay us, and unemployment isn't going to pay us. So I need to be looking for another job, is the fucking long and short of it. And it's another one of those things where it's like everything is fucking piling up on me all at once, where, you know, I'm find out all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, purely over seniority politics within the union, I'm getting bumped to second shift and losing my third shift differential. They give me a week's notice on that, and there's nothing I can do about it. And then that's after coming off of 2 weeks unpaid, and we're heading into, I don't even know how much more time unpaid, and I don't know when that starts, but it's fucking soon. And yeah, if I don't get another job and relatively quickly, then I'm gonna have to move back in with my parents again and start my whole fucking life over again. And it's just like, how many fucking times this decade am I gonna do that? I'm 28, and it would be the second time I've specifically moved back in with my parents, but it would be the 5th time that I've had to move to another state and start my whole fucking life over from scratch, just since my 20th birthday, and I'm fucking 28. I don't even turn 29 until next year. Like, I don't know, man. It's fucking hard to just keep going on like this. And there's just no end in sight. Like, it feels like there's no upward mobility in our country anymore. I always hate saying our country and shit. Like, I feel like I'm, like, coming off like a conservative or something. And it's just, I'm not patriotic or anything. I don't feel a sense of loyalty to this country, especially because I don't feel like it's done that much for me. It's not the worst place to live by a long shot, but it's also not the best place to live by a fucking long shot. But regardless, like, I don't think the problems I'm facing are necessarily specific to this country. But at the same time, like, labor over here, labor rights and shit like that is a fucking joke. And what used to be a powerful labor movement that was getting shit done, like Teamsters comes to mind. It's not the union I work with, but it's a big one like that. Like, they used to put fucking faces on milk cartons, my man. Like, people went missing if you fucked with the Teamsters. But, like, I don't know what the Teamsters are doing nowadays, but the union I work with, it feels like they kind of just embedded into the corporation in a sense that they're like two heads, like a two-headed beast where the two heads argue, but they're on the same body and they ultimately have the same goals in mind. They just disagree about how to get there. And it's just really fucking disappointing to have lost like a genuine labor movement that was ready to actually fight for its fucking workers. And now it's just the workers wanting to fight each other while fucking the corporation sits on the sideline with a bowl of popcorn. Like, I get that, like, with the seniority thing, you know, you've been working at a place for a while, you've proven your loyalty, whatever, there should be rewards for that. I just don't agree with it coming at somebody else's expense who did nothing. I show up, I put my work in, I'm told that my work is good. My team lead never has any complaints about me. I'm not the most talkative person. I don't necessarily make friends, but I try not to make enemies either. And I just got a pay cut dropped into my lap. How the fuck am I supposed to feel about that when my life is so fucking dog shit to begin with and I'm not getting ahead? Like, I've got all this fucking credit card debt, which I only ran up my fucking credit card because I was out of work for a while. There's just so much shit that's beyond my control, but is still fucking me over. And it just keeps happening. And I'm really at my wit's end. Like, there are times when I really feel like I was saying, you know, I have those thoughts that I wish I wouldn't have. and that I don't intend to act on, but it's hard for them to not come to me more frequently when things are this level of fucked up for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking hard. So yeah, here I am. I lost the most incredible relationship I've ever had with this woman that I wanted to marry. Kind of suddenly, to be honest. Like, I kind of saw it coming for a long ass time, but at the same time, like, the actual way that it went out, I did not see that part coming. Like, I thought it would have been a little bit more gradual than it was, I suppose. So I lose that, and the day-to-day conditions in my life are just kind of shitty. And like, my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, they live in town here, thank fuck. They're actually pretty close to where I've been staying, but they're the only family I have. Like, none of the rest of my family talks to me, and I mean, the feeling is mutual, because after the shit that they said to me, like, I don't know if I've told this story before. If I did, it would have been a long ass time ago, but I distinctly remember this one morning that I was getting ready for school. It was during my senior year of high school. My mom followed me around the house, and she was just going on about me being trans, which at the time I considered myself a trans woman. I don't anymore, but at the time I did. And I've never actually really thought that much about getting reassignment surgery. It's not something I've ever really wanted. But of course, she made the assumption that that's like, because if you don't actually know anything about trans people, you just know what you see on TV, then you assume that like the surgery, as they call it, is like the end game of being trans. Like, it's all just a quest to get to that, which is not how it works. But yeah, she was like, you're gonna be all stitched up and scarred up like a Frankenstein monster, and no woman is ever gonna want you, nobody's ever gonna love you, you're gonna be alone forever, shit like that. Just follow me around the house saying that shit while I was trying to get ready for school. I go to school, my friends watch me eat lunch at the lunch table, and they fucking oink and moo at me. Those of you who are not native speakers of English, those are like the noises that a cow and a pig makes. It's the noises they made at me as they watched me eat in the lunchroom. So I eventually just stopped eating lunch at school. And then there are days when I wouldn't eat at home either. The longest I ever went without eating at all was like a week. Sorry, I went quiet. All of a sudden there was a dude getting in his car. You know, I just feel weird being the one random motherfucker who's walking down the street at night talking loudly into his phone. But anyways, yeah, my mom makes fun of me, tells me nobody's ever gonna love me. I go to school where I get made fun of, and I didn't plan on surviving high school, but I also never had the balls to actually kill myself. So I did survive high school, and I just didn't have a plan for what to do afterwards. And I've to this day never had a plan for what to do, even just in the next week, let alone in the broader sense of like my future. And that was my teenage years. And then my 20s were kind of more the same, but like I wasn't in school anymore. I was drifting in the Midwest and the East Coast from a couch to a couch, and plenty of ramen, plenty of nights where I didn't eat anything at all. Shit, there's somebody else. Damn, somebody's got a fire out front. Like right in front of their house. I'm not gonna point my camera at it because it's somebody's house, but still, damn. It's in like a barrel though. I was about to say, that seems risky. But as long as everybody's okay. Yeah, anyways. Kind of lost where I was. There's a lot of people like out tonight, like literally just outside. And I feel really weird about it, like, because I'm really self-conscious about people hearing me. But yeah, trying to figure out where I was and what I wanted to say next. Jesus. Fucking death race. Oh shit, now I can't see shit. I'm out walking at night because I just told you I work thirds and I'm not at work. And I'm trying to get at least a little physical activity. And I did lift earlier, which I've got more to do in that regard. But I'm going to do that when it's like truly late. Because it's like 9 o'clock right now. I'll just, I don't know, keep walking a little while longer. And then I'll go back inside and finish out weights. But anyways, fuck man, I didn't know where I was gonna go. I guess I don't really have much else to say on that topic that's really worth hearing. I'm kind of just bitching. I'm sure a lot of you probably feel like I'm being a total fucking pussy about shit. You might be right. A lot of the times I think I probably am. I've always kind of felt like I was born missing something that everybody else has that makes them more resilient than I am. But I don't know, maybe it's not an innate thing and everybody else has just learned to be stronger. And I never learned that lesson and I'm paying for it. I don't know. But one way or another, I've just always felt like less than everybody else. And it doesn't help that, of course, throughout my life, a lot of people have reinforced that in various ways. Like with people making fun of me at lunch, or my parents saying that shit to me. And getting fucked over at work all the time. And people keep telling me it gets better. And honestly, it's really fucking insulting to me that they think I'm stupid enough to fucking believe that. Like, that's just not true. It doesn't get any fucking better. Jesus Christ, I didn't even see those people there. I don't know, man. I'm just aimlessly bitching as I'm walking in circles around the fucking neighborhood. Anyways, I'll go back to the weight stuff for a second. Sorry, my mind is everywhere right now. I'm kind of fighting off a panic attack, I'm not gonna lie. Just because of like, A, all the people out, and B, everything going on at work. Like, it's been stressing me out really bad for these past couple of days that I've been off and wondering what the fuck is going on. Just waiting for a phone call. So, yeah, I've been eating more. Or at least I felt like I've been eating more, but I've also been training a lot more. I think that's why I'm not gaining weight. But at the same time, I'm not willing to train less because I feel like I haven't made a lot of progress over a pretty long period of time. And so it feels like I need to be training harder. And so I stepped up my volume and I feel like I need to keep it high if I'm going to see any new progress, because clearly what I've been doing just hasn't been enough. So I figured eat more and train more and I might finally see more results. But I think the extent to which I'm training more is beyond the extent to which I'm eating more. And so like, the scale isn't really budging. Like, I'm seeing a lot of the same number that I've been seeing for like a year now. It's a little disappointing, to be honest, which again, I never thought I would say that about gaining weight, but yeah, that's the position I'm in. It's fucking Twilight Zone shit for me. You know, I spent the first 20 some years of my life unable to lose any weight, and then I finally lost a shitload, and now I can't gain any weight. It's a little weird. You know, a good problem to have compared to what the problem was that I used to have, I feel like. But it's still like I'm trying to accomplish something here and it's not working out. So there's still a shade of disappointment regardless. I want to be stronger and I want to fill back in some of this loose skin. I had done this before when I was still living in another state. You know, a while ago, I called my doctor's office and I was going to ask about a consultation for plastic surgery to get my loose skin taken off. And they said that they would call me back or whatever. They just straight up never did. And that was a while ago. But just like a week or two ago, I called the doctor's office that I'm going to up here. And again, I was like, can I get like a referral to do some kind of a consultation for having my loose skin removed or something? And they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to give you the info for the plastic surgery center or whatever the fuck. And you call and ask them about it and they'll get you set up. And so I did. And I got an appointment, November 27th for this year, not next year, which I feel like nowadays it's plausible for somebody to be booked up that bad, but thankfully it's not like that in my town. So yeah, it's like a month and a half ish away from now, which is honestly hadn't thought about it being that soon, but it totally is. It's weird to me now that I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely nervous. I'm excited, but nervous. How do I start with this? So part of my PTSD and the anxiety that I'd always had even before that is that I'm kind of a hypochondriac, which was not the case until after I was traumatized. Because like as a teenager, you know, I've been really big all my life. So I may be down to 196 pounds now, thereabouts. But when I was in high school, like I was in like the 360s to 380s for most of my high school career. And my blood pressure was bad, like real bad. And I never really cared. Like I didn't think about it at all. It was just not something I gave a shit about because I didn't really give a shit about being alive. So like, yeah, okay, I'm really fat and my heart's probably gonna explode and whatever. Was kind of my attitude in high school. It's totally the opposite nowadays. Like anything about my health freaks me the fuck out, big time. Like it's bad. So yeah, there is a part of me that because of that, you know, people talk about how dangerous having loose skin removed is. I've been trying to look into that and like just wondering like why, what makes it so dangerous. I think really it kind of seems to boil down to like A, just the risk of being under anesthesia in general always comes with some kind of risk, but also B, like it's a big surgery and it covers so many like areas of your body that like I don't know, like especially having work done on your legs, you're gonna be off your feet for a hot minute because you don't want those fucking sutures to open back up. And so you spend so much time with your legs basically immobilized, there's a huge risk of like a blood clot or something. But like I just feel like that isn't necessarily specific to having loose skin removed, because any surgery that's going to affect your legs seems like it would come with that risk as well. I could totally be wrong about that, but just from what I've seen, just from kind of casually looking into it so far, like that seems to be like the number one thing that I keep reading. And I just, you know, I feel like I'm ready to accept that risk, or at least as ready as I'm ever going to be. Especially considering, you know, I'm 28 and I'm in the best shape of my life, which broadly speaking, I'm not in terrible shape. I'm not in the best, obviously, but I do a lot better than a lot of people, even people my age, like, and medical technology just improves as time goes on. Like, loose skin removal now isn't what it was 30 years ago. So, of course, naturally. So I just feel like, you know, there is a risk, but at the same time, like, I don't want that to dissuade me from trying, because A, I'm not having the best time anyways. If something happens to me, like, it's going to be scary and it might hurt, but once it's over, and I'm not going to be there to worry about it, you know? So there's that. But also, you know, if I talk myself out of it because I'm afraid, then I'm going to be carrying this fucking loose skin for the rest of my life, and it's bad. Like, there is a lot. Like, my brother and his wife think I have probably 20 pounds of loose skin on my frame. I think it might be slightly less, but at the same time, I would not be, like, shocked if I got to my consultation and they told me, like, it might be as much as 25. Like, I'd be like, okay, I can see that. It isn't what I expected, but I can see that. So, like, there's a lot of it, and it's pretty embarrassing, especially because, you know, like, I'm single now, I'm back on the market, and the next time I have a sexual partner, it's going to be somebody who's never seen me naked before, and that's a lot. Like, I feel like I really need to trust someone before I let them get there with me, because of the loose skin, because I'm fucking self-conscious as shit about it, and some people can be kind of judgmental about shit like that, and I'm always terrified that I'm going to get into that situation with somebody who I didn't realize would be that judgmental about it, but they totally are, and it doesn't come up until, like, they see it and they have some kind of reaction to it. And if that happened to me, like, my self-esteem would be shot for the rest of my fucking life, dude. Like, that would be it. Like, that would really fuck me up to be in that position. So I'm kind of scared. Like, I'm kind of scared to get there with people. As much as, like, you know, the last year of my relationship that just ended like a handful of weeks ago was without any kind of physical contact for the most part. So, you know, I am a 28-year-old man. Like, I'm feeling a little pent up, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, like, I haven't been very committed to trying to do anything about that because it kind of scares me. Just for body image reasons. It's really fucked up. Sorry, I'm having a hard time kind of collecting my thoughts well enough to keep going, but this is probably going to seem a little weird. You might get an unflattering image of me, but I got to do something real quick. Okay. Sorry, there was a guy, and I get really fucking paranoid, so I had to look behind me. I do that during the daytime too. That's not just a night walk thing. Like, I don't like having people behind me when I'm in public. Because PTSD is such a good time. But anyways, yeah, I figure that's probably really all about all I have to say. As far as work stuff goes, like, I guess I'm gonna try second shift and see how it works out, because, you know, whether my plant is striking or not, the union is a lot bigger than just our plant. And if they get, you know, a raise for us in the contract, then, you know, even losing my third shift differential, my pay is still going to go up anyways, just from the new contract. So as much as, like, I'm really pissed off with, like, everybody there, like, I'm pissed off with corporate, I'm pissed off with the union, etc., like, it really would be a good idea for me to stay there. And I want to make it clear that I'm not, like, anti-union, because I fully realize that if it weren't for the union, corporate would grease the fucking assembly line with us. And that's just a fact. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like it's not. The union did some really important shit for us. But at the same time, like, we still don't even have fucking dental and shit like that. So I'm disappointed at the same time. I feel like it could have done more, could have been better. Maybe lost their way a little bit. I feel like a lot of like the labor movement, but also like leftism in general has been kind of, for lack of a better term, demilitarized. And I feel like that's been to our detriment, like in a major way. Because a lot of these corporate entities especially, as well as the government, like their native language is force. They don't speak please or thank you or I need help. They speak force. And if you really want to get somewhere, you got to leverage force. And I mean, the union still does that to an extent with strikes, of course. There are other forms of action that they can take, but it's nothing like it used to be. And I figure that's probably why we don't have dental still, even though a lot of places do. Like, we do have, of course, like good health insurance for like actual, seeing a doctor. And we have mental health insurance to some extent at least. But yeah, no dental. Shit like that. Because my teeth are falling apart. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've just straight up got chunks missing out of a lot of my teeth. I'm not gonna lie. I've been a fucking couch surfer all these years, and I keep thinking I'm eventually gonna work up the balls to kill myself, but I never do. And so, like, I don't really take care of myself, but life continues, and I pay the price for it. So, like, I realize that it's my fault ultimately, at least for the most part. But still, I don't know. It's just another one of those like small things that, taken on its own as like an individual thing, is not a big deal to me. But stacked up on top of all the other shit, it all adds up. It's a cumulative thing where it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. Just a bunch of little things. A bunch of little things that get piled up to the point where it feels like there's just no single like isolated thing I can point to that's actually going right in my life. And it's demoralizing, It's hard to keep going in that context. It really fucking sucks. And I just keep hoping for a break, but I'm not, I've never gotten a fucking break in my life. 28 years I keep waiting for a break, and I'm not fucking getting one. Like, at what point do you just say that you've had enough and call it a fucking day, I don't know. I'm just being negative now. I need to not be so down on myself and my circumstances. Like, it could always get worse. I know that much. But I also need to not be in the mindset of assuming that it will and being preemptively upset about it. You know what I mean? Anyways, glad I could be a fucking downer for you guys. I suppose I've said my piece. That's where I'm at in my life right now, and where I've been lately. Instead of, doing anything cool or fun or exciting, I've just been struggling. So I guess I'll see you around. Alright, this is still not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but I just figured, like, for the sake of your fucking curiosity, I'd show you what it looks like when I'm about 5'10", maybe slightly taller. I'm a cis male. If you don't know the terminology there, that means I was born with a Y chromosome and a dick and balls. Still got him. You're not going to see him, but you got to pay money for that. But yeah, and I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 190 to 200 pounds at this point in time. like I said, I've stepped up my training and also my eating, and yet my weight is still in the 190s, and I can't seem to get out of that range. Um, depending on what you want, what your goals are, that might be a good thing. For me, I was hoping to put on a little bit of muscle mass, so I'm slightly disappointed, but at the same time, it's not like I want to blow up like a balloon because I've been there. That's what I've done for the first like 25 years of my life. It got old, but anyways, yeah. You'll have to excuse my ugly fucking face and my fucked up curly hair, but this is my body. I don't know how well you can see. The light is not great in here. Fuck it. I'll turn this light on. It's gonna look even worse. And my room is a fucking mess, but yeah, I'll give you the full fucking view here. Not that great. I realize that. I definitely don't have the body type that would get cast in a starring role in any sort of Marvel movie or something, but I feel like I do okay. Um, Definitely not the worst it's ever been or the worst that it could be, but still plenty of room for improvement. But I mean, like, I feel like I've got like decent definition in my legs at least. Um, Probably partly just because I got like chicken leg genetics from my dad, so I don't store a lot of fat on my legs. But even up here, like you can see, I've got a little bit of a bicep going on, or like you can see sort of the outline of things fairly clearly. I keep hoping I'm going to get that like bicep vein in, but you can also see the loose skin is very much like, even if I'm full on flexing, like there's always going to be that part that wobbles right there real bad. Um, as for my legs, I don't know how to do this without getting like a really gross angle, but we'll try. We'll try. Um, that's okay, I guess. Yeah, I got a little something going on my legs. My forearms are like kind of veiny at this point. I don't know if the lighting is going to show it very well, but also it's weird to do this while filming with my other hand. And I have shit eyesight, so that doesn't help. You probably see me like squinting a lot, and that's why I can't see for shit. But anyways, just thought I'd tack that on, throw that in there for those of you that are like following my weight loss progress. This is what 190 to 200 pounds looks like on me. As far as like, I wear a women's size large in t-shirts. I don't know my men's size anymore. It's been a while since I've bought men's clothing. But anyways, that's what I'm working with at the moment. Um, I'm not saying it's impressive, but it's certainly a lot more impressive than staying 300 to 400 pounds. So I'm okay with that, and I will be a lot happier once I get some of this fucking loose skin off. But anyways, that's all.